Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to week 5, I believe, of DMV Rivals. We have a small little segment right before the game starts. I have Dota 2's Beater from Untitled and Luke Killers from Soy Kiddo Predator Slayers. Both of you are 4-0 currently. How are each of you feeling?
Hi, I'm ready for this match.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so I got a few little things we can talk about before the game starts. So I will pull up. How do I do this? Where is the
Top right, slideshow.
slideshow? Hello, where'd it go? Wait, where is it?
It's in the top right, I think. Like next to share on the right side, or
What? Oh, here.
one more.
Okay.
That.
All right. Sorry about that. So we can get this show on the road. Welcome to the showdown of the two top teams. We have Untitled versus Soy Kiddo Predator Slayers, and both of you have had quite a road to get to where we are now. Both of you 4-0, and we can see the history for both teams. One does not look quite like the other one. Untitled going completely undefeated so far. Dota 2's Beater, how have you guys managed to do this?
We come through a lot of tough teams. Knights Radiant, Silk Road Titans, they're all really strong teams. Coming out 8-0, I'm just feeling like we got this tournament kind of in the back. Take a look at my opponent's history. I see 2-2-1s. What's up with that? Is this team really undefeated? No.
All I'm gonna say is, it's really about the record history that matters. So we're also 4-0, and the other games, like we're just limit testing over here, so we can, get better. And it's not about the 2-1s, bro. It's about who wins today, and that's all I'm gonna say. I also like how Eddie obviously knew we were better, so he put us as Genji because Genji always beats you. So yep.
Hey, you guys, I don't know, 4 international trophies or 4 world trophies? You won?
Hey,
Or
you ain't
more
worth
than that,
worlds,
maybe
bro.
even?
Yeah, this is LPK. This ain't worlds.
No, we'll see about that. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
who takes home the trophy?
Okay, sorry about that technical difficulty. We probably missed that entire segment, but the biggest question of all we have is Envy the GOAT? We heard rumors about scrims between you two. Luke Killers might have gotten a little bit fathered. So, Luke Killers, what are your thoughts on this?
Fathered. Okay. First of all, if anyone knows anything about loot killers, okay, I always run down scrims for fun, okay? And yeah, my team wasn't very happy me running it down every game. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, scrim results don't necessarily mean match results. At the end of the day, it's about who performs on match day. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this MD guy might be nervous. So I got the mental advantage over here.
Dota 2, any response?
Yeah, no, Envy's about as nervous as that dog in the bottom left. It's fake. He's got this in the bag, bro. He knows he's gonna come out on top, especially with all
That dog
five of
looks
us
pretty
together.
nervous,
Oh,
bro.
That dog, it's a fake nervous, bro. It's fake. Trust me, he's gonna come out on top in mid lane. I know that. We saw it in scrims. We're gonna see it again here
Yeah,
in a
okay.
few moments.
Confidence in your mid laner. I like it. I like it. The exact same goes on the opposite side, though. We have another standout performer for SPS. My personal vote for MVP of the tournament so far, Doug, Hide on Bush, absolute Jarvan King. Dota 2's beater. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this guy is kind of scary. His past KDA is looking pretty good. Really strong on Jarvan, but don't worry. Like, I'm going to put that KDA in the dirt, and I'm going to put this guy to a halt real quick. You see all 4 of his teammates playing for him. I'm going to be playing... I'm going to be shutting him down anyways. That's just a fact. It's going to happen.
Blue Killers, any response?
Alright, bro. This guy ain't like you, kid, okay? Like, his champ pool, not only is it like 30 times your size with his like massive like carry champ pool and stuff, okay? Because you can only play tanks, by the way. But like, yeah, he's just today he's gonna do unspeakable things to you, okay? I can't even say them. I might get banned from Twitch.
I dare him to
but,
pick
you
an
know.
assassin, bro. I dare him.
Bro,
We'll have
bro,
to see how
you-
this game ends, bro.
pick your mundo, bro. Pick your mundo. Let's see how it goes, okay? Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
gonna be perma-banned. I don't need to worry about that for real.
Hey, after this 2-0 or 3-0, whatever this is, you can bear I'll download the VODs for you, okay? So you can review them.
Okay. No need.
Well, I'm glad that both of you have the great thoughts on this. So ultimately, a lot of people, including me, really think this will come down to the mid-jungle duo synergy. So what do you guys think? It's open floor right now.
Yeah, Ani, just be ready for me to set up my tent mid lane, because if you play this like you play scrims at all, I'm gonna be farming you more than I farm my camps. That's for real.
All I'm gonna say is, I hope you come in, okay? I'll 1v2, but it won't even be a 1v2. I'll have Doug over on my side, like, because most predictable jungler, by the way, Dota 2's beater. So, yeah, this shit's gonna be easy, bro. Your tent is fucking, like...
Most
his tent's gonna get some
predictable.
real kills.
All right, well, have to cut it short here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the desk for this quick little segment. Good luck in the matches today. Best of luck. Only one team will come out 5-0, and we will see as teams head into draft. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Draft. We are about to head straight in. I forgot to transition it, but game one about to start between the two undefeated teams in the league so far, Untitled and Soy Kittle Predator Slayers.
Yeah, should be a great one. Both these teams undefeated at 4-0. Everything. Yep. Okay. So both teams are into draft as we're rounding out phase one. We know both sides have shown some interesting picks, like the Mage's bot that Untitled has played a lot. Evan the Bank has been playing a ton of Hui, a ton of. We've seen them put like Lux down there, so I understand. Soy Kittle Purser is not wanting to see any of these mages down in the bot side, but that does leave up the Syndra for the first pick.
Yep. Syndra, a great takeaway from Luke Killers. We know he loves his Syndra as well. And also, just overall flex pick. I'm not sure if Evan DeBank plays it, but any mage is a flex pick for Untitled. And now Luke Killer is taking Ari. He knows he's very comfortable on it and will be willing to take it in any matchup alongside the Karma for SPS.
Yeah, I mean, Ari is the pick that. Sorry, some teams. Ari is the pick that a lot of teams have liked into Syndra, where you can kind of evade the burst for the most part and still find ways to pick her off with the Spirit Rush and the Charm that Ari can provide. Does mean they're going to probably want to pair it with an aggressive jungler. We tend to see them wait until like the third game to play Ari Kha'Zix. That's been kind of what they've done for the last 3 weeks, but this time they feel the need to get it early alongside the Karma. And meanwhile, on the side of Untitled, they're not scared. They're pick and engage. It's the Nautilus. It's the Xin Zhao. Pretty standard stuff to round those up. But the Graves from Hide on Bush. So be a bit skeptical if we saw an instant Kha'Zix. Instead, it is going to still be a carry with Graves for Hide on Bush.
Hello, hello. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Hot on Bush, well-known Graves player as well. Don't know whether he'll go for that profane Hydra Graves build that is relatively unpopular, but he goes that item on like every single AD champion anyways. But also a little bit of anti-synergy because, you know, Karma is like a very 5v5 kite back and front to back style champion, and we have Ari and Graves that are very independent and self-sufficient, and don't typically thrive in a 5v5. So I'm interested how their draft priorities work out here.
Yeah, I mean, as we now see them get to that second phase of bans, the Urgot is an interesting pick that we've seen Untitled pull out a little bit here and there for. I mean, Bread throughout DMV has done very well on this pick. He's brought it out a number of times across the years, so he will lose that pocket here.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of teams are just choosing to leave Swain open versus Untitled as well. We saw it last week too. They really dared him to pick it, assuming that they probably had some counterpick to it, but it does go through once again.
Yeah, now Soy Kittle Parasher is trying to figure out what they want to pair with the Karma. It is going to be Varus, so it is some CC. You know, they're still a bit light on that, as you mentioned, but Varus and Karma still a very strong poke lane, very strong duo there in that early going, and then you hopefully transition that into a strong mid game where the karma starts juicing up the fed Graves that you don't pick Graves for any other reason than getting fed and carrying fights. So we'll see how that can maybe pan out. Now on the side of Untitled, gonna have to figure out what bread is gonna play up in the top lane, what he wants to pick blind. That is that is a blind pick as he goes for Yasuo. Could be in the bot lane, to be fair. Could be in the hands of Evan the Bank. It is as different from a mage as you can get, but it is on the table for the bot lane. Has been a while since Yasuo found his way down there.
Could also be Yasuo mid or top. This team,
Oh, yeah,
I
Syndra
thought
can go
my
bot, yep.
team was big on flexes, but this is something else. But the flex will get revealed. At least it's not Yasuo top. Yorick blind top lane. I didn't even know Bread played that. I don't know what Bread plays, but blind Yorick into the top lane. Honestly, it's pretty decent. SPS doesn't really have any ways to deal with the Maiden. And the Yasuo is pretty good into Varus in a vacuum. So
Yeah.
I like the
And,
pick
and
so
I do
far.
think as much as SPS may have wanted to slam like some kind of carry up there, like a Gwen, like a Gnar, something they've liked to maybe do fine job into the Auric. It does feel like their comp really needs frontline, and that's what they're going to default to with the Scion.
I mean, the Scion does make sense, but again, Scion is another one of these front to back champs, and Graves Ari are not the best front to back champs. If you're gonna play Graves Ari and a Varus too, you really want something that is also very self sufficient and strong on the top side. Scion, obviously a very great team fighter, front to back 5v5, or the classic champion for that right now in the game. But I would have preferred something more like Camille or Fiora or something like along those lines that can have a little bit more carry power with the setup and the attention drawing that Ari and Graves and Varus give you.
Yeah, definitely some signature picks here. As I mean, Hide Bush, he usually waits until he's pinched down a bit before bringing out the lethality carries of the Kazakhs, of the Graves. Thought we would probably just see a Jarvan or something, but nope, he's throwing it down with the Graves. Same can be said for Untitled, as we don't quite know where the Yasuo and the Syndra are going. I can't imagine either of them really wants to play into a Varus Karma bot lane. That is probably going to take double Comet. It is going to be rough down there with the Nautilus no matter what. But maybe there's some advantages in mid if they maybe like Yasuo into Ari, or I mean, I can't say I know for sure.
Yeah, it looks like the game will be starting shortly. I do think it will be Syndrome mid and Yasuo bot. I do agree that neither of them really wants to play into the double Comet poke lane, but Yasuo with Nautilus has much more threat, especially early game compared to the Syndra. So they could do some flipping down there. They can make that lane a little fun. I'm just interested to see how this blind Yorick goes out. I mean, there's no way that Yorick Shinzao can kill. Actually, probably they could kill Scion, but as soon as Scion gets like Bramble Vest, Ninja Tabbies, like he'll draw like it'll take like half a minute to kill him if they do. So
Yeah, it can be very rough. Like just given that you have 80 top, 80 jungle, maybe 80 mid. I mean, I'm looking through. Evan, I don't think has even really played a traditional AD carry yet. So I mean, I guess Yasuo isn't a traditional AD carry either, but it does not. Yeah, no, it's always been a major, even a tank. So definitely gonna be interesting to see how that goes. Because, like you said, if that entire top side is AD, that Scion is gonna be an absolute wall. And even later into the game, Syndra, while she sometimes likes being the sole carry and the sole source of magic damage, she's not going to be doing enough consistent damage into a Scion to really break through that. So we'll see if the Yorick, we'll see if Bread can really drag that Scion down to the depths of hell with him in the side lane and keep him there and prevent him from getting to fights. Because otherwise, this Scion is going to be quite problematic.
Yeah, I will say I have a lot of faith in Hide on Bush, but if Graves does not get ahead this game, he's going to have a lot of problems. It's going to be really hard to deal with Syndra, a Maiden, Yasuo windwalling you, and then almost everyone on their team has a knockup, which is pretty not common. I feel like a lot of teams that are picking Yasuo only rely on like one combo. So everyone having setup for him is very nice to have as a Yasuo. So yeah, this Graves is gonna have a lot of eyes on him early game as he needs to do something to get ahead of the curve.
We do have confirmation that it is Envy on the Yasuo, Evan on the Syndra. They could still switch between roles and have Evan go mid if they really want to, but Evan is staying in his great spot that he's been in with mages, still on Syndra. If that's with Nautilus, I mean, I get that Karma, Varus probably don't want to build defensively, but that makes Mercred's very good value up against a Syndra and against a Nautilus that you're going to see in lane. But we'll see if they do anything different with lane assignments. But we do know Envy is he spoke to them a bit before the game, and Envy is immediately throwing out a Yasuo pick. Yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome into game 1 of SPS versus UNT, Untitled versus Soy Kiddo Predator Slayers. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. Both these teams looking to stay undefeated, prove themselves at the top of the tables a little more than halfway through the split. On the side of Untitled, we're seeing Envy pull out the Yasuo. We're seeing a double ignite mid in this matchup here. As I mean, Luke Killer's on a bit more comfort. They've definitely liked having him on the Ahri, having him set stuff up for the carry junglers of Hide on Bush. We'll see how he does into the Yasuo matchup.
Yeah, look, Shiv, if you can see, Hide on Bush is already up to his shenanigans, hitting the enemy red buff minute 1, probably dashed over the wall to get the cheese, and he is off to the races. They'll now spot him on the Raptors, so we'll see how Dota 2's beater adapts to this. The pings come out, yeah, so we'll see how he adapts to this new pathing that Hide on Bush is invading on.
Yeah, I mean, for now, Envy has slight push in mid, before Ahri can really get all her spells, where we will have Hide on Bush finishing out all of the bot side camps don't think it would be too wise to really force a dive. It is a poke lane. You just want to wear them down. You don't really need to put yourself at risk with some sort of dive. So Graves is going to go back, farm out. Probably his bot side. Xin Zhao is... Yeah, he's going to play it across. He's finishing up the goals.
Yeah, interesting choice to split map bot side for hide on bush. He will really want to play towards the mid and bot, obviously, but his early game is not really too eventful. Punishing the Nautilus is pretty great and everything, as Bowmeister takes you onto bread is very yummy, gets him along. But yeah, it's not gonna be a super eventful early game, in my opinion. I don't feel like either of these teams want to make it volatile. If the Yasuo or the Yorick get ahead, and again, it's gonna be very hard for the Graves to deal with.
Yeah, we'll definitely just be a split map or hide on bush, making sure his double range, double comet bot lane can continue to do what they want to do in this lane. You know, usually Evan and Easy Hister have been on the other side of this, where they're playing mages like the Lux, they're playing Zyras, they're playing Mels. So this time they're going to be mostly on the back foot for this lane. We'll see if that sets up hide on bush for any sort of aggressive invades throughout the game. It does mean that he finishes up his entire 7 camp clear a tad faster than Dota to his beater, who's going to take a bit to finish up the crowd.
Nice and relaxed early game. That's all we want, Shiv. Nothing happening too much, so we can just sit back and watch some poke action happening. The Pillars lands the charm. I feel like
she's actually back in. It's double ignite dropped on both sides. A flash Q, but the Tempest is able to at least trade something back. The double ignite instantly. They just decide, yeah, it's time to all in. We've hit the 4-minute mark, and now hide on bush wants to do the same, as he's going to re-invade enemy Raptors. Dota to his beater, and does have the smite. Ooh, hide on bush going to have support from Kiddo Cat, but they can't really force too much more. Gonna get a face check from Easy Hister. He's now going to get the hook down. Bush may have gone way too aggressive, even though he had the Karma by his side. Dota 2 is just going to flash on through. And now Easy Hister is going to flash over to look for another dredge line. It's a second off. Can't quite get it around that bit of terrain, but still, nice pickup for the Xin Zhao chasing out the Graves.
Yeah, hide on bush really wanted to look to push the advantage a little bit more, but bit off a little bit more that he could chew. I feel like playing the early game relatively volatile is not really what is in the cards for this kind of team comp. Yes, Graves does need to get ahead early, but I don't think that was the position necessarily to do it, especially when it's Karma versus Nautilus. You do get the Raptor camp, because Karma has the move first, but in an even 2v2, it's much harder to get an advantage there. Great one more.
Yeah, for now, we'll see NB trade out the last breath with the Spirit Rush in mid. Meanwhile, it's Dredge Line in bot. The CC comes down, not quite layered as excellently as you would like. And now the Nautilus is going to take a lot of damage on his way out. But we do at least have the Lost Chapter for Evan to bank, so he'll be able to continue to clear out those waves, stay afloat in this lane. NB now getting aggressive.
Mid lane is looking scarier and scarier. I guess it's a good matchup for Yasuo, or for UNT. Knows how to play it very well. He's constantly skirting around, forcing out skill shots from loot killers, and threatening them over and over as he dashes in between minions. So always postures on him and never gets hit by anything that loot killers throws. Super well played so far.
Yeah, he is going to be down flash a little bit when Luke Killer's Spirit Rush comes back up, so maybe we see them try to make a play, but when your CC is limited to just the Ahri Charm between you and the Graves, probably not going to amount to too much, as Maiden summoned up in top lane, but bot lane is where Dota 2's got his eyes set. Kittle is now caught out. Xin Zhao's going to knock it around and get the kill over to Evan the Banks. And
yeah, just a great gank timer that wasn't respected from Soul Killer Predator Slayers. They knew that both junglers were on bot side, because Hiram Bush was just full clearing down, right? So they would expect Dota 2's beater to be around there, and he gets the timer just slightly before Hiram Bush is able to show up, and they get rewarded for it.
Yeah, Hiram Bush doesn't want to let those go for nothing, but top lane Beaumont is getting very low. Evan now rooted up by the chain. Soy doesn't have an ability, but at least setting it up for his jungler. It's still a solo kill, though, so Soy Blake will certainly take that, even if Hiram Bush maybe would have liked a little bit of gold out of that one.
Yeah, Evan Bank just not flashing, didn't respect it, and he gets what he deserves for not flashing. But that's Dragon going over actually to the side of SPS. When they were the ones that originally got the gank timer and got the pick, they have to give up the neutral objective. Kind of feel bad.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. So Graves going to be able to pick that one up. Curious to see if Dota 2, I mean, the Shin Zhao isn't a solid place this game. It's going to have decent skirmishing power throughout this mid game. Maybe we see him just like play around this top side, know his Yorick's always going to have priority, try to move in and fight the Graves. Does this bot lane? I mean, maybe there's an angle here as Easy Hister baiting them in by missing the hook on a minion, and now Dota 2 has his opportunity. He will just go in, and unfortunately, the kill goes to the Nautilus. Luca is now low in mid, not able to find the charm, and once again, we will trade 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Yeah, Hiram Bush just throws the collateral damage to get some extra gold in there, but this mid lane is looking very volatile, constantly just trading each other over and over. And this is a Yasuo going Kraken, not Blade of the Rune King. I don't know how good Kraken is on Yasuo. I don't play champ that much, but a full Kraken finish at 8 minutes and 40 seconds is good objectively, I would say.
Yeah, well, objectively, Bread may need to get himself out of here. He's going to put up the Ghoulie wall, but he got his Maiden doing a lot of work in the pit. Hiram Bush now under pressure. Dota 2 just wants to take the straight-up fight. Wind becomes lightning. Not going to take out Hiram Bush, but Beaumeister still stuck in the pit. Dueling out. Luca's just going to flash on forward. Finds the damage off the Easy Hister, but he's not going to die. It's Beaumeister that dies first, and now Envy is just slicing, dicing up a double kill. And still, it is untitled on top across the map. Soy Blake hits the chains, but he doesn't have the rest of the damage as that piercing arrow goes wide.
Great movement by Evan. Continue.
Yeah, we have a last breath out. And now the charm under the tower. And are we trading 1-for-1 again? Again! No deed goes unpunished unless you go by Herald, in which case 4010 did get a lot of kills there without getting killed before turret dive.
It is 1-for-1 again. But I will say 40 Envy does take the dub because that wave crashes. But every single time he's getting the 1-for-1, the wave is pushing, so I guess it's always winning for him. But mid lane is quite exciting. Like, I didn't expect it to just have this much action constantly, and Envy is just pushing the limits on Luke Killers and on Yasuo constantly.
Yeah, I think throughout the time Yasuo, like these last 5 years, it's felt 5-7 years, it's felt like, you know, Yasuo will lose every lane unless his jungler helps him. Then he wins every lane, and his jungler usually has to be a Gragas or something. But this time Envy is just doing great in the individual 1v1, and I mean, Bread was doing well in the individual 1v1, but guess what, the jungler's actually topside, but Bread still is able to find the kill with the help of the Maiden. Hiram Bush finally takes out the Menace, but I think that 1-for-1 trade is something Bread will certainly take.
Yeah, huge trade. Allows him to finish the try. Oh, he probably already had the try because he got another pickaxe, but that Yorick was already sitting on a lot of gold. But also, Hiram Bush is going Trinity Force Graves. I've also seen this from him before. He loves playing Graves in a cruiser style. I also saw that he, previously on his Graves builds, he was the guy I got Gore Drinker Graves from back in the day.
Oh, Dota 2's beater may not have a Gore Drinker, but he is down in the bot lane looking for this kill. And Easy Hister, again, just maybe a bit too overzealous on these anchors, but still happy to make sure that they take down the enemy support.
Yeah, great timers, constantly finding Kiddo Kit Kat, and they're really exploiting the one weakness of this Varus Karma poke lane, which is the immobility. Both champs don't have dashes. They do have a Karma Shield. But what is that move speed you get when Dredge Line and Death Charge exist?
Yeah, it's been rough for Kittle down there on the Karma, kind of always being the sacrifice whenever that good gank comes out. And now maybe we have a good gank in the top lane as Bush, he is taking a while.
Oh
here.
my god.
The Deathsmaking Smash doesn't get the knockup. And, I mean, a bit of deja vu in the top lane, but can Bush even get this kill? The ghouls are blocking out the graves,
god.
and Brad hits him with the fadeaway sand. It's 2 kills for the Yorick. And I think we might have a problem in multiple lanes on the side of Untitled.
Yeah, that Graves with no lethality item first does no damage. He didn't even have the Trinity Force finished, I believe, when he was ganking. He might have, but regardless, he just did no damage to his Yorick. That just kept sustaining barely enough with his Q to keep avoiding lethal damage. And now he's just a menace in top lane now.
Yeah, I mean, third time is the charm. Surely the Maiden's not up yet, but those heals are massive. Bush now getting aggressed on. Here comes the Maiden. Bread is not going to be able to find that kill, and he is running low on mana, so there's only so many more shovels he can slam on this Scion. Bush trying to heal up and try to contribute, but they are licking their wounds once again as Bread finds the kill. Send more men as Luke Killers is around the corner. Doesn't Spirit Rush because he doesn't have it, but is still chasing. Meanwhile, Xin Zhao is taking whatever he can bot side because Bush has been trying and failing to punish this Yorick. Luke Killers is going to drop the Ignite, but they just keep giving him heals. Finally, after what feels like years off my life, they get the kill. And watch how fast this kill's going to be onto Kittle Kit Kat. Evan the Bank this time going to get that with the Unleashed Power. And across the map, things going well for Untitled.
Yeah, that's how you pull off a real gank, Shiv. You come in there, you just one-shot them on the gank, and unfortunately they're not able to one-shot Yorick. But now Soy
a nice dredge light around the tower from the Hister. Does die, but it's at least an execute as he gets the Yasuo involved. They're gonna be able to pick up all 3 outer towers before even 15 minutes. It is decimation right now as Soykro Prayer Slayer is trying to figure out ways back in. Bowmeister will take some plate spot, but Evan is there to TP in and make sure things don't get out of hand.
What a statement game from Untitled so far. Every single player on the team. We said it. This has always been the team. This has always been Untitled. Every single part of their team is just solid. Like they're completely and utterly like bulletproof. I feel like they don't have huge weaknesses anywhere that any team can easily exploit, and it just the power is just like insane. Brandon Very Yummy just took up like what 2? I watched the full Tom and Jerry episode up there. They're going for another gank now.
Yeah, I mean, this Yasuo should be much easier to take out. He doesn't find the Tempest. He will have a TP coming in, has Windwall to buy some time.
Bread.
Charm is evaded, and now without that CC, Bread is ready once again to punish the Graves. A lot of damage onto Envy as he looks for the knockup, can't quite find it. He'll be rooted up, and Luke Killers will collect that. Bush having to run for his life from the Ghoulies. But meanwhile, Herald secured by Dota 2 his beater, who's just... And you know what? If this Graves is going to run all over the place, fail to kill my top laner, I'll just take the camps. I'll just do some PvE. But now he's going to have to interact with this Scion. We'll just smite away the red buff, give it an Olay, and Hexgate out of it.
Brett is just running everywhere. Unfortunately, Envy does go down, but this was almost a repeat of that Wukong super play. Bad things could have happened in that bot lane. They're looking for him again.
I think Bush just needs to chill. But let's farm some camps. We're playing Graves. We're not great at ganking. We're even weirder with the Triforce. Let's just farm. You know, let's take some time. Let's reset. Let's not mental boom against the Yorick for the 6th time this game. We've got Dragon in a minute and a half. Maybe not the best idea to go for that. But maybe in the 4v4, if the top laners don't show up, maybe that Dragon fight is something Soy Kittle can play for.
That's probably their only hope back into this game. 5k gold at 16 minutes. Soy Blake dodges this guy.
Chains are gonna hit, but Evan isn't gonna die to the combo, and Soy Blake is not so lucky. Shinzao gets on top of him, and that's all she wrote. Now Evan the Bank, excuse me, Hide on Bush, is getting aggressed on the top side. He's gonna get some distance from the Shinzao, but is it gonna be enough? Mantra E speed to get him away, but here comes the Yorick once again to bury him. And now he will turn his attention to his frequent enemy in Bowmeister. And you know what? We'll take the Karma while we're at it too. Kittle stepping a bit too far forward into a dredge line. Everywhere the Yorick goes, he leaves demise in his wake. They'll summon up the Herald, and I have a feeling this is not going to get better for the Predator Slayers before it gets worse.
Yeah, full Spear of Shojin done. 2 Bruiser items done. Before 17 minutes for Bread, and he's probably sitting on a ton of gold right now, and he just takes the Uber straight out. This guy is just running the entire map by himself.
And with all that action around top side, Dota 2 just going to take this as a signal that, you know, maybe we can just go for the dragon now. There's no way they're going to be able to contest us after we kill them all. So that is going to be a second dragon over to them. And when you're playing Poke Varus, when you're playing Bruiser Graves, when you're playing playmaking, not consistent damage mage mid, I am very much struggling to find a way for Soy Kiddo Predators to get back into this game. But thankfully, that isn't my job as the play-by-play. That's yours. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm struggling just as hard as you should. It does not look like this Graves has any chance of doing anything left in this game. Honestly, look, they're just sending the cross-map play and completely foregoing everything on their bot side. And that's all they can hope to do. Stay even in farm for now. This Graves, I don't know what second. I think that's probably Black Cleaver. Makes sense. But a full 2 items from Shinzao and tier 2 boots. So he's giving the armor pen to both Yasuo and Yorick right now. Not like Yorick even needs it. Red is very yummy.
Now we've got to fight up in top side as, I mean, now they've got the Ahri up here at least. So that is a good amount of damage. And they do get him. No casualties. Never before have I seen a brilliantly executed gank in this game by the Graves, by the Ahri. But meanwhile, the rest of the map is not going to go much better as tower taken in mid. Bowmeister took the train all the way to the other lane. I don't think he wants to be here. He starts charging up on a ward, and that is his first mistake.
He was out, but he wanted a little bit icing on the top. They did get the shutdown on Bread is very yummy, but they did have to give up the mid tier 2 for it. I mean, worth I guess, but the map state overall is still continues to advance for Untitled. They have so much room to work with now as this Syndra, Nautilus, Yasuo collapse pick combo. It's gonna feel harder and harder to move up, especially with Karma. Karma's a champ that you really need to win early game on and have pressure in bot lane on, right? So not getting value out of Karma early game makes it even harder. But Hide on Bush is looking for something.
Yeah, I mean, I will say with a very melee top side and, you know, a lot of burst on that Varus and Ahri can provide, maybe they can set up some vision, catch someone slacking, face checking a brush, and they are able to burst them with these champions. But I mean, as long as Easy Hister does his due diligence and face checks places for his team, they should not have too much issue with that.
The top side, they might be starting Baron up right now. Doesn't look like there's any threat at all from the side of SPS. Maybe they might come to advance on it or to check on it. Things are coming out as they look to collapse.
Sion and Yorick are isolated. Maybe this is the fight that they would want on the side of the Predator Slayers, but the Baron is already gone, secured, and now they're just going to try to get out. Bowmeister will not be getting out. He'll be dead. And now we'll see what the 4v4 can look like on this side. Depth charge dropping to Soy Blake as he gets hit by the scatter. It's 2-man knock up into the last breath, and the Varus is already down. Hide on Bush limping away as Kittle Cat is also going to run out of space to run. The Ahri is heading for the hills, And it is no opportunities for the side of the Predator Slayers.
Yeah, they took a gamble on this Graves pick. They took a gamble on this Scion counter pick. And neither really has paid off so far. Bread is very yummy. Choosing to stick in the base, actually. As he
Yeah,
knows
why
no
not?
help is
Why not? Why not wait for the Graves to challenge you again? Well, died at the tower this time, unfortunately. But Envy and the rest of the team is here to back him up. It is 22 minutes, and they're on the Nexus Towers. Soy Blake trying to get in. Almost lands a good piercing arrow. His has to flash away. But Envy now melee range with the Varus, forcing him back. Dota 2 dipping back into the fight. Damage from the Poke Bear starting to stack up, and he is able to find a kill. But now Dota 2 gets back in there with the Audacious Charge, and will audaciously Realm Warp into the waiting charm of Blue Killers, but that's the combo. I think Dota 2 might be just fine. Another orb is coming back, but the knock up with the 3 Talon Strike lets Dota 2 barely stay afloat. And even when they can get everyone in place, they can get the jump, they can get the free kill on Bread, they can get Envy overextended, the play still doesn't end on a high note.
Blue Killers was waiting for him to come out of the portal. That was his only chance to go for that juicy 1k shutdown, but it wasn't enough. And that's not soul point at least, so I guess they have another 5 minutes in theory to farm these supers. Only one wave of supers. They didn't even take the mid inhib, so they're really just min-maxing the ending speed here. They're not even giving gold over. They were trying to end through only one inhib. Crazy min-maxing here.
Yeah, just get us to game 2. Just get us to game 2. I think we can wrap it up here. Soy Blake might be caught out in mid. The shield speed from Kittle will get him out from the Wind Becomes Lightning, but I think it's just a matter of time before Untitled put the finishing touches down on this game. Dota 2 loses about half his HP, but he'll be fine with that. As they move in for the mid inhib, Yorick now joined up with the team with the Maiden. They'll trap up the Scion and do some damage from there. Is there any hope of a miracle for the side of the Predator Slayers? As there's the scatter onto 2. Meanwhile, it's a hook on the other side. It's Bowmeister barely able to tank a thing as Dota 2 is beater just going forward, unrelenting on the Shin Zhao. They take out 2, only losing 1. And onto the Nexus they go, as in 24 minutes, it is Untitled showing some dominance here in game 1.
Yeah, absolute domination from start to finish. Even though they were trading 1 for 1 in the mid lane, it didn't feel like 4E to Envy was losing. He was constantly crashing the wave and then trading 1 for 1. And then Bread is very yummy, just standout game from him. Dota 2 is beater, being everywhere he needs to close out the game. Just absolute domination. That's the only word I can use, honestly, Shiv.
Yeah, they're off to a great start here, but it is a best of 3. There are plenty of opportunity for the side of Soy Kittle to come back in this one, and I would like to see an opportunity built on their jungler, because we know what Highland Bush can do when he's got the Kha'Zix, when he's got the Graves. I'm not quite feeling this weird bruiser build. Let's get you back on the regular way to carry in League, and let's try to go from there.
Yeah, with that being said, I think we will take a short break as teams prep for game 2. I'm just hoping for a game 3, Shiv. I hope this is a 3-game series. I need something out of SPS. I need some signs of life. Anything. But yeah,
Well, we'll hook them up to the heart monitor and see if we can get signs of life for game number 2.
Welcome everyone to game 2 of Untitled versus Soy Kittle Predator Slayers. Draft is underway now, and we see the same bands coming out. Brand for SPS and Jarvan and Talia for Untitled. Crucially, SPS has chosen red for game 2.
Yeah, I think like you said, we'll see pretty similar bands. I'm curious to see how SPS really wants to approach this game because it feels like, given how they've done so far this year, the kind of comp they had in game one is kind of the thing they usually like to run. They like having loot killers on a playmaking mid, like the Ari. They like having Bread on a carry jungler, like the Graves. Maybe a more aggressive bottom lane with like Varus, Misfortune. And it just didn't come to bear in that game as the side of Envy and Dota 2's beater, and especially Bread, got the better of them in game one. But we will start off with a mage once again with Rise, the primo blue boy, immediately met by the Lou Killer's Akali.
Completely different look already in game 2. Untitled slamming down 42 Envy's Rise. This guy already had an insane performance against the Silk Road Shaitans on it, and is probably what I see him signatured. It's probably a signature for me so far now. And Luke Killer's signature Akali coming out as well. And Nico doesn't usually make it through draft against Soy Kittle Predator Slayers, so Kittle is able to get this Nico, which is so crucial. A long range poke champ, which is her comfort, but is also an extremely strong engage. So quite literally the best possible 1-2 picks they could have gotten.
Yeah, it does mean that Untitled has their way of trying to respond to these, whether it's getting more CC on the Akali, though something like the nice point and click of Nautilus is not available. They can maybe look for more mobile carries to get out the way of the Nico R. But I'm assuming that's an Amumu support heading down there against the Nico.
No, you're forgetting, Shiv. It's bread is very yummy.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
it could be
top
bread. It
lane.
could be bread. Oh dear.
That could be Wukong top, Amumu jungle. It is a double flex. We don't know right now. This team and their flexes, Shiv.
Yeah, and I mean, it is one of the things that has made Untitled so difficult to deal with. Not only with Evan playing all the mages in the bot lane, but the flexibility of bread, of Envy as well. And we do see Soy Kittle default back to that Misfortune. So they still have that more poking aggressive lane setup in the bot lane that they had from game one, but now maybe that more explosive team fighting capability with their respective ultimates.
Yeah, I will say the one champion that is on equal priority to Akali and Nico for Soy Kittle Predator Slayers is Wukong. The best possible jungle pick left open for both these teams. So they had to forego one of the three, and it will go over to Untitled, which means SPS has to go a little bit deeper into the bag to see what they can pick. I feel like with Akali, Nico, and MF, they really need either a frontliner or someone with a lot of CC, preferably both. But there's not really a lot of 80 junglers that are available that do that now. It's really only like Vi Pantheon, kind of, not really.
Yeah,
So
we,
we'll
we
see.
could get a bit weird with like a hide on bush nocturne where you turn out the lights to make the Nico scarier, but I think that's maybe indexing a bit too hard on the dive, and then you don't have a jungler that can really set up for the bullet time. It feels like it's all or nothing on the Nico ult. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they want to play it out. But Untitled doesn't want to get fully overloaded by Engage, so they're banning out Braum. Meanwhile, Soy Kittle paying respect to at least one of Bread's pocket picks. The Urgot is still up and available if it ends up being a situation he likes, which, you know, against what's probably going to be a melee top 10, maybe. Urgot's got some play here, but I think Soy Kittle probably, like, they've liked Kha'Zix. They've liked putting Hide on Bush kind of further down the priority on junglers. It is going to be interesting to see what he wants to pull out because the Akali is already that kind of playmaking assassin. Do you really want another diver alongside her, or do you want something a bit more stable, like a Trundle or a Juani or a
Ooh.
Zyra jungle? I'd have to imagine.
Well, I mean, at least that does fill out the CC part, I guess. Um, they do desperately need some sort of CC or some sort of like lockdown, and Zyra does fill out that role, but is not really AD and is not really frontline, so they'll have to work pretty heavily around the Stranglethorns and Nico. But Zyra also does have a pretty good matchup into Wukong if it is jungle, and I think now we know who really is jungle.
Yeah, Zach. I mean, technically, could be playing him support. Could be
Technically, yeah.
still could have a lot of flexes for Untitled here as they try to figure out their bot lane against Misfortune. Nico would have been nice to have something like the Lux that can battle back in range from Evan's side. Doesn't have the Hui either, so
Oh,
we'll just go
God.
down to the regular artillery mage probably in the Ziggs. Does make them very heavy in AP, but it is a comfort champion. Evan sticking with the mages.
Yeah, I will say if this Wukong doesn't go jungle, they'll have the same problem as they did last game, just on the opposite side of the map. However, there was no problem last game, so it might be fake. But if this is Wukong top, it will be a quadruple AP bot side, which will not be super great. I really, no way it's Vayne, right? Yeah.
I will say Soy Kittle doesn't really have a champion to punish a lot of magic damage, right? Like the upgraded Merc Treads will definitely be nice on the Akali, but there's no great tank or even bruiser because it is going to be the Camille thrown down in the top lane.
Yeah, and she doesn't even know what she's countering. It might be Rise top or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna put my prediction now and say it's Wukong top because I believe only Dota 2's beater knows how to play Zac on this team. So we are going to guess
We do have
that.
confirmation that is a correct assumption. It will be Wukong top, Zac jungle, a Mumu bot. And I mean, I am very interested to see how Hide on Bush plays on this Zyra. You look at what Hide on Bush has performed on thus far, it's Wukong, it's Kha'Zix, it's Graves, it's Jarvan. All these like carry AD junglers that can get in your face, start fights. Zyra kind of needs to let the fight come to her. She needs to play it patient. She can't really dictate by herself because of how squishy she is. She's gonna have to wait for the Zac, the Amumu the Wukong to like dive in and then lay down her garden of plants. It's gonna be a lot on, I guess, the Nico to start off these fights well and get them in positions for the Zyra to be a more like mage carry than what Hide on Bush usually plays.
Yeah, I will say this Syra is once again all eyes are on Hide on Bush. I feel like things really went south after that first death from Hide on Bush. He got that Raptor camp, but then tried to stick around for a little bit more, and not being able to snowball early game for Graves is kind of immediately a death sentence against that kind of comp. So we'll see what happens here. And also, yeah, like you said, there's not really anything to punish the quadruple AP. So it's like, I agree that like I do like Untitled's comp a lot better. It's not like the damage profile doesn't really matter too much, right? So they really have all the tools they need if they completely ignore the damage profile.
Okay, we're gonna sync it.
And here we go on to the Rift for game number 2 between Soy Kittle Predator Slayers and Untitled. I just hope there's a game 3. I really want to see these games, or I want to see both these teams get pushed to the absolute limits.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see how that's going to work out on either end. Both sides still with quite spicy picks as Bread. I mean, I can kind of see the incentive to flex the Wukong up here, even if it maybe was initially planned. I feel like Zyron's Wukong, like, individually is quite nice. You can definitely just stay ahead of the Wukong, outfarm him, and keep him at arm's length. As
Things are
the
getting
Wukong
scrappy
also
already.
just taking... Yeah, he's taking Ignite and just going in on top side. Ignite dropped onto Bowmeister, and he's got to flash away.
Yeah, Bowmeister just queued a minion. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, so that will be flash off the Camille. Zac is at least panning away, or excuse me, pathing away to his bot side. So Bowmeister will not get a elastic slingshot in his face. I think the interesting thing for this game is going to maybe how this bot lane plays out. The big head guys in Ziggs and Amumu are going to be able to fight well against the poke. Is it going to be well enough? Probably. And then they just look for both sides then just kind of look for the big R explosions in fights. Because I don't feel like we're going to have too much advantage in lanes, but the junglers are pathing down.
Yeah, we'll say that this is Luke Killer's signature champ. If we don't check this Akali, no matter how scary Red is very yummy or for you to envy gets, they can be shut down by Luke Killer's Akali. And that is what the game plan is basically. When they slam this Nico Akali on 1 and 2, they put 2 of their best players on 2 of their best champs and are just hoping that they execute.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hide Bush went for a little bit of a cheeky invade. Zyra, very fast clear, able to, I think they actually stole away a good amount of the Krugs. So nice work from Hide on Bush there. He'll be able to clean up the bot crab. Won't be able to really double crab because Ryze is pretty dominant out in that mid lane, but they're pinging for it. They have Camille.
Yeah, the Camille Pro is huge. Playing the bouncing wave that guarantees her prio into this lane, but I don't think she saw Dota 2's beater. Now he's gonna run straight
Yeah,
into
they're just
her.
gonna fight it out. So 1 health goes the crab. Dota 2 is able to get it. Now here comes a hook shot into the root, not finding it, and I think Bowmeister now in a rough spot. The ward gave a Stretch Armstrong auto over, and that's gonna be first blood to Brett.
The same thing from last game. Easy history.
Oh, but now Easy Hister getting very low, trying to flash away at Soy Blake, and Kittle on the chase. They're gonna flash in. Bandage toss is not gonna buy you much more time. Soy Blake and Kittle getting ahead in the 2v2.
Much needed kill on the bot side. They needed to secure their advantage this time, whereas last game, the Karma just slowly started bleeding out her lane pressure, and after just getting ganked multiple times, they just completely lost that pressure from their early game. But now, I mean, a kill is definitely securing their early game advantage.
Yeah, and I mean, I am a bit curious about that topside play. I feel like there might have been a bit too much jungle propaganda from Hide on Bush. It's like, yeah, we're gonna fight for crap. I'm gonna smoke this guy. Bowmeister not having flash and playing way too aggressive into a Zac that was probably not gonna die in that situation. But, you know, he's got passive even to let Wukong and Ryze get in position to help him out. But Kittle, stealth level through the roof.
He doesn't know.
As for he was trying to prevent the freeze, but oh dear, the barbs miss, so he will be a-okay.
Yeah, it almost worked. Oh, she's on her way back as Zyra this time. But yeah, the same thing happened last game with some jungle propaganda where they stayed a little bit too long, and Hide on Bush gets one of his teammates killed this time again. Last time at least it was 2 for 1, or 2 kills. This time it's only 1. The killer is looking aggressive with perfect execution available. I know he wants to make the play.
Yeah, there is an old badge mantle and Envy and Ghost, so maybe a bit difficult to pull off. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Bowmeister at least has the advantage of his sword, but doesn't have the advantage of the ultis, that the Cyclone just takes him out 100-0. Thought he had Hide on Bush on the way, but the Zyra is not there in time. And another kill going the way of Bread. As Banishov's hit in the bot lane off the satchel. Bread trying to get away. Hide on Bush, tanking up multiple tower shots.
Oh.
And feels like a bit of the T word. Bit of the T word rhymes with stilt. As now on the top lane, it is Bread with 3 kills. It is Zach just saying, all right, I'll take the dragon. And it is, while it's not a gold lead yet for Untitled, I think they feel pretty good about their state in this game.
I've seen this before, Shiv. I've seen Bread is very yummy on a 3-kill start. And we know where that story goes. At least this time they do have the winning bot side, so they will have to play a lot through Soyblade. And Akali's not out of the game yet. Actually has a pretty good advantage over 4 to NV, so there are definitely avenues to play other than top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Camille will generally be able to hold her own, but I mean, she's going to be very delayed on that Triforce compared to Bread, and when he gets that spike, it is going to be quite difficult for Camille to really stick in there and play, especially with Bread running the Ignite. But now we've got a Shuriken flip in the mid lane. A Realm Warp for you to Envy. Will not get out! Flash, Realm Warp, you cannot escape the Luke Killer's Akali.
This is exactly what he is known for, this Akali pick. And they had to pick like Akali or Nico earlier. He was not going to get it. And it's a good matchup for Rise too. It's very hard for him to die. Or not very hard, but if you play respectably, it's not super easy to die. But 4 to Envy really wanted that wave in and thought he could just get away with the Realm Warp. And he almost did. He almost did get away with it. If it wasn't for that scurvy little auto attack at the end. Got it just in time. Well played by Luke Killers.
And very nice. We're seeing what he can do on that signature champion. Has the Dark Steel investment, and now they're looking to cash in even more from all sides. For you to Envy is surrounded. This time the barbs connect. Kittle will get the kill, and it's a second death for the Rise.
That is a little sad that Kittle Kikat gets the kill, but more importantly, the objective is accomplished. Full priority secured for Grubs. MF is a little bit at risk here. I feel like they can dive her, especially with no flash up. But if she doesn't get dove, this is really, really big for Soy Kill Predator Slayer. It's a pretty big tempo advantage. They don't really lose anything for going to the Scrubs, and Nico is now able to go back down without any punishment now. So bots stayed completely even while they won mid and got the neutral objective.
Yeah, really nice. And I mean, we're seeing them index heavily into Luke Killers this game. Last game on the Akali, he was under a bit of duress against the Yasuo. This game, as Kittle's actually going to get hit up by the Curse of Sad Mummy into the Mega Infernal Bomb, but it's not enough damage off that. Now Pop Blossom for a re-engage, and with bullet time over top, Easy Hister needs to flash away, but he's not going to get far enough. The last Comet, not going to find the Nico on her tail, and that's going to be another 2v2 kill for Soy Blake and Kittle Cat.
Yeah, we can really see the power of both of these support picks right there. The Curse of the Sad Mummy locks them both up and guarantees the Infernal Bomb. And then right after the Pop Blossom, Dojo's beater, good dodge.
Yeah, Luke Killers, he's feeling himself. He's got the momentum going. Last game, he didn't really get to play on the Ahri. He was constantly pushed in. This game, he says, team, I got this one. They send the Nico mid to try to get a cheeky play early. He gets a soul kill, and he's like, yep, we can punish him when the wave's coming back. Brings the support, brings the jungler. Now has a 20 CS lead over this Rise, who is going to be quite delayed in his Roa stacking, as he's still looking to finish even the Catalyst.
Yeah, the sore thumb sticking out now is just Bowmeister. About 20 CS down, 0 and 2. That is very yummy with a comfortable advantage, so the game is not too out of reach. They still have a very, very strong top side. But a pretty secure bot side for SPS as they look for this next dragon a minute's time. They have pretty good setup. They're looking again. The pings are coming out into river. As they spot
Item Bush is now caught out by the slingshot. Does have Stranglethorns for a 2-man knock, but Nulu Killers is into the fight. Envy can't escape, and the plants are plowing through the Zac. He'll find the slingshot at the end. Evan now trying to get away, but he doesn't have his flash. Blue Killers is just 5 points striking his way to victory. He will fall in the end, but now Dota 2 finding a triple kill on the Zac. He was built for the skirmish, as Soy Blake, I don't think is going to have enough to chase down. Throws in the bullet time, gets the flash at the end of the day, but Dota 2 and Luke Killers, probably the big winners of that fight, and a big winner of the top lane, continues to be bred, buttered up, toasted. Baumeister's getting roasted, and it is 3 deaths on the Camille.
Okay, Rap God. Okay. That is, I mean, Bread is just winning out. No surprise. But again, Iron Bush is just getting punished for slight oversteps. Like, he's playing more aggressive than he needs to. His team already has full setup for this dragon. They know that Poise Envy has no flash for the dragon. Iron Bush able to get a good kill top, but they might have to give up the dragon here. Pings come out. But yeah, he's just getting punished for what he's been able to get away with recently. So we'll see.
I mean, it is that aggression that has opened up a CS lead for himself in the jungle. Kind of what you want from your Zyra, especially into a tank matchup, which she's able to plow through faster than the Zac possibly could. But there are times where it's like, maybe we just want to cycle through our own kills. Maybe we don't need to play over-aggressive on certain timers. Dragon's gonna be secured. It's now Easy Hister finds a 2-man curse, and the 2v2 advantage is swinging back the other way. Soy Blake able to flash out to the other side of the wall and escape. Blue Killers and Envy were hovering down there as well, but still a good kill onto the Nico.
Yeah, that's just disrespectful movement from Cat and Soy Blake. They're both running towards the...
Oh, but yeah, but now Zac's trying to get on in there. Item Bush is there to respond. Do they have the damage to kill off the Zac? Not quite. They should be able to get Easy Hister, as, I mean, why not gift it to Luke Killers? He used the TP. He deserves it. He's losing his way to the Rise, but it is still a somewhat successful dive. The Zac getting definitely... I can definitely see the vision here on the Blob man.
Oh my god, there's a 3-level difference in the top lane. But yeah, that was just disrespectful movement from the bot lane of SPS. They knew that Dragon was going on, but they didn't have Hideout Bush. And they went near the river anyways. And Easy Esther just calls the bluff and just goes, yeah, I don't think Zyra will be here, and just goes straight in. They get rewarded for that.
And definitely nice. And now we're seeing the Zac, even if he's not bruising through the camps as fast, he's picked up a lot of kills from the action around the map. And the side of Soy Kittle Predator Slayers is very burst oriented. So if the Zac is given time to collect his blobs after the engage, he's going to get a lot of value and be difficult to take down. Luke Killers has his eyes on the Ziggs, the satchel for a bit of safety, but flash Pop Blossom onto 2, space out the Inferno Bomb, but they don't quite have the damage. Luke Killers finally finds it as Easy Hister is evaded. Luke Killers dipped back in for that one, but he may have just met his demise. Dota 2 doesn't have anything to auto. The Raptors were taken away, but now For You to Envy is up for a fight that I don't know if he still wants. Luke Killers still with the happy feet up against Dota 2. Gonna go back in on the flip, but now he's queued. The minions are right there. You know what Zac's gonna do as he gets punished for some over-aggression. As top lane, Baumeister hanging on to his top side tower.
You know, when Luke Killers was saying that he just runs it down in scrims, I think he might still be thinking this is scrims.
Are we scrim?
Yeah, but this might be a scrim set. Well, we don't know shit.
Okay, okay. Okay. Maybe they're hiding something. Maybe the schedule was really strong. Because yeah, that is a bit over eager of a play to shuriken flip into a Zac. I mean, first he shuriken flipped into a for sure dead Amumu and almost got hit by Zac slingshot and died. And then he slingshot and then he shuriken flips into the Zac again. But Bread, I mean, he's doing what he wants to do. The hook shot is not long enough. You gotta upgrade the equipment here as the grapplers are not long enough. Luke Killers though has found Envy in the side lane, forcing the flash out over the wall. And I mean, if Lucas had his flash, I'm sure he'd follow, but he doesn't. He calls it there.
Yeah, what a timely solo kill again. This is just a solo, top side objective secured because of that kill. So Red is very yummy, just putting on a show in the solo lane and winning his team another objective solely by himself. Yeah, the top lane is looking a little rough right now for Kobe.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before it gets better. They're going to move over for the mid lane. KitKat is here, has the Pop Blossom, finds it onto the move, bullet time immediately on top. Every ultimate in the book is getting thrown out. Easiest for soaks up so much, but still dies. He gets the flash out from Evan, but Lucas follows, is trying to find the last Q, but it's the dodge from Evan. They can't find the last 5-point strike, even though he had 10 of them. Eventually, Kittle is able to clean up the kill before going down, gets the root on her dying breath, and now Dota 2 might be in trouble. Are we taking that one in? No, we think better of it this time. But Soy Blake can't think of anything to do against the Wukong. He's going to fall. Hide on Bush did kill off the Zac from the backside, but not much to happen there. Meanwhile, Envy, very happy to get some time away from the Akali, who is not happy to see this level 13 Wukong. Has Hide on Bush here to keep him at bay, as you see the power of the Zyra when she's able to actually set up her plants and people are walking into her. But still, Envy now going to get aggressed on the bot lane, stayed for a bit too long as the Hexagon goes down, and 4 members are around here. Realm Warp will not get him anywhere as Hide on Bush collects his 4th kill.
Okay, there's a lot of things to say. First off, I really respect the movements around the map that Lucas is making right now as the play continues.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to farm. He sees a champion and he wants to kill him. Nice juice back from Easy Hister on the low Lamumu, but it doesn't matter. Lucas still collects that one up. We've got 11 combined Dark Steel stats across the mid jungle, trending well, and they're going to be on the Dragon.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I really respect the movements that they're making. But the mid dive, the extended mid dive, wreaked a little bit of desperation. But the idea is very good. They're just constantly forcing wave rush. Should be okay here. Oh my god, Lucas going in.
Lucas is trying to go in. He's going to find the angle on R2 and now try to go forward. He really wants this shutdown and he will be rewarded. Dota now stunned up, needs to slingshot out to safety. Double wall hop to get himself out. Meanwhile, Evan is going to take a bit of damage in mid, but he will be okay.
Yeah, you can see the desperation, but you can also see the confidence, both at the same time. He needs everything to move for him in order for his team to be able to play the game. But sometimes it's such a fine line that he's walking right now between desperation and confidence. These plays that are being forced around him, or that he's forcing. Forces out Ghost as well. But yeah, the extended mid dive was a little bit too much. But before that, a great collapse, burning everything onto the Mumu, I will say is pretty worth. Because outside of this Mumu, it's really hard to force. Easy History getting the Princess side on mid on.
Gonna combo down Soy Blake. He doesn't have a chance. The Pop Blossom and the Stranglethorns get put down, but there's not enough damage between the two of them. Soy Blake gonna fall for nothing, and now Dota 2 wants even more. He flashes in for the double, and he's on the warpath for a 3rd as he brings him off of the Super Mega Cone. And they have a root onto Luke Killers. Dota 2 still wants to keep up the fight. He's rooted. Now Luke is going to go into a 2v4 situation. He's knocked around by the Zac. Needs to execute himself out of there. Evan caught out by Beaumeister from the backside. It doesn't matter how far down the Camille is. She can still lock up the enemy AD and take him down, but now being met by 2. She's not going to fall. It's a double for Beaumeister. It might just be what the doctor ordered, a triple for the Camille, as Envy now trying to go in to salvage something, but he's just coming up with junk. He's able to find a kill on the exit. Gonna look for the Realm Warp out. There's no CC left, but there's more than enough damage as Soy Blake gets back into the play as it ends, and it's an even game in gold. I can't tell you what happened, at least skill-wise.
This is exactly what I was hoping for in this game. Non-stop fighting and action at each team, just trying to claw their way back in. Brett is very yummy, still looking on the mid lane.
This time he may need to think better, but he doesn't have flash. Hide on Bush in the wings, supporting his bot lane, and can get some poke over the wall as the bandit shot actually connects, but KitKat's gonna be fine.
I will say, valiant effort from SPS so far. They're pulling out all the stops here. This Nico and Akali from Loot Killers and Kill Kit Kat are putting on a clinic. They are really just running the game and driving the engine of SPS forward into every play. And that is exactly what you need from both of these high execution-based champions. Buying space, finding picks, creating plays. That's exactly what you needed out of these two in the R1, R2 picks as well.
Absolutely. It's been nice for them, you know, definitely going a lot better in game number 1, but gold pretty much dead even as we look towards a probable dragon fight in 90 seconds. Both teams do have the ability to play through sides with Camille and Ride, but they definitely want those bigger team fights as Evan going to cash in on all that mid lane damage they got. And now maybe we have a chase down as Bowmeister flashes in, puts him in the hexagon. Luke Hill is trying to join in as well as the Amumu. Curse of the Sad Mummy just for a bit of time, but he's not able to buy anywhere near enough. His Zig still goes down. His Rise is caught out on the wrong side of the river. It is the Predators making the play first and getting 3 kills.
Yup, you get rewarded for your proactivity, Shiv. This is exactly what we need to see from SPS. They're the ones to pull the trigger first. A super deep teleport from Loot Killers in the mid lane. And a great flash buffer on the chain dash from Bowmeister finds Evan the Bank fast enough before Curse of the Sad Mummy drops. So they were able to get the pick onto Evan the Bank immediately to start the fight.
Now they're going to start with the Baron Bread. We'll do some good damage to Luke who's trying to hunt down the Zag. Now that is a full HP Zag, so we just need to keep him out of the pit. He's going to have a chance with the slingshot, but the smite is there in time. Now Stranglethorn knocks up 2. Mega Inferno Bomb over top finds 1 kill, but the Wukong is doing so much damage on his own. Now Dota 2 gets the Q onto both. Soyblake's in a lot of danger. He's going to drop. And now Luke Killer's the only one holding the Baron, but he won't be holding it for long. It's going to be Bandage Toss in, and Luke Killers cannot flip out to any safety. It might be a Baron, but it's 5 kills for Untitled.
That is very rough. They're going to give up our Dragon on top of it, too. If they got anyone out with Baron, it could maybe be argued as still okay, but being 5 for 0 wiped, giving a Dragon sole point, and also losing that tier 1 on top, or sorry, tier 2 on top lane, just swung the gold back. They were like up gold probably after winning the fight, and now they're down about 2.5k. So huge swing from that fight. And you can see how easy to execute the comp from Untitled is. It's just once you hit the CC, everyone presses R. It's very simple, and that's exactly what you can't do Baron against easily. When you have to clump up on Baron, like the fight they won before that was very spaced out. It's exactly how they won a fight. But when you're clumped up on Baron, it's super easy for Untitled to.
Well, with the Blast Cone, it's easy to get on top of Hide on Bush with Ira flashing away, but Luke Killers is actually popped on the side. That's the carry dead. Bowmeister trying to do something in a 1v3, but that hexagon is getting crowded. It's a double for the Wukong, as suddenly the game is swinging quite well for Untitled.
Well, the name of the game is proactivity, and the first team that goes gets rewarded. And there, SPS just got picked out, but the engage was all it took to take down the solo laners.
That opens up about a 5k gold lead for them, and it is in places that you would certainly like it, with the Wukong being so far up on the Camille. Maybe don't like the fact that Zach has a lot of the gold, but in this game we've seen Dota 2 be very effective despite being on a tanky, disruptive champion that Zink isn't going to do damage, but then he ends up with 7 kills. And overall, they've done a nice job cushioning themselves. We saw Luke Lewis try to get really active across the map, make a ton of plays, accelerate this lead. Now the Rise is even in items, has his Roa stack, has his Seraphs up and ready to go. And once that 3-item point of Actualizer hits, with the Shield of Seraphs, with the health of Roa, with the magic shield of the tier 3 boots, like, blowing up this Rise can get very difficult. But Luke is going to try anyway, because why not? as Ghost is going to be popped, and they may just call it there. As Bread going to be locked in the Hex-Tech Ultimatum top side. Land Cyclone onto 3, flashing out to safety. Stranglethorns will not catch him. Easy Hister, I don't know if we want this. He's going to show himself out. So, some aggression on both sides, but nothing coming of it.
Yeah, Bread is very yummy. Living that is really, really huge. Even if he has to burn flash, it's so huge. They're able to keep up the pressure on this map state right now. You see he's able to push on this top lane now, so all 3 lanes being pressured. But I also really don't like the Horizon Focus from Hide on Bush. This second item, Horizon Focus Zyra, is really just playing to burst someone. And now he goes Bloodletter too, so the build doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Horizon Focus used to be decent, especially for any mage, long-range mage, because it was just a huge stat stick item before, but especially after the nerfs now, where it's dropped down an item in a damage tier, it's not a super great item to rush if you're not very heavily utility-based. We'll have to see what this Zyra can do. Void Staff not completed for Loot Killers yet. Makes this fight also difficult. I don't think anyone can kill Dota 2's beater right now. Dota 2's beater jumping boldly into the red side of Soy Kittle's Predator Slayers. Oldmeister choosing to go in, and the fight starts. A good Hex-Tech Ultimatum. Another Pop Blossom on 3 finds the crucial target they need, but now the return engage, the counter engage will just completely one-shot Kiddo Kit Kat. And now here comes Loot Killers, ready to turn the fight around. He will find Easy Hister and just has to get out of there. Already 3 dead and nothing in the gas tank left for Loot Killers. He has to run 1 HP. Crucially, a good dodge from Soyblade will get him out of there, and the Zac passive will get popped. Flash out as well. Bread is very yummy, living on 1 HP, a 3-for-1 so far. And that should just be Dragon fully secured with 3 kills over to a title.
Yeah, they certainly won't care that they lost Easy Hister. 14 seconds till that Dragon. That'll be a nice soul for the side of Untitled. We saw even with the game being very even, they've found ways to pull away. People are respawning for this Dragon, and Blue Killer is now getting very chunked out.
Yeah, Hide on Bush showcased the Profane Hydra Wukong before. And now that Red is very yummy has it, you can see that guy also does a lot of damage. Profane Hydra is just such a great item right now. I don't know about like second or third item, but as a first item for junglers especially, it's just super great for anyone that can really use the stats. It just increases your clear by so much, increases your damage threshold compared to most other lethality items by a lot.
Oh, there's a triple win. They're trying to pull the trigger here, but they're not finding too much. Flash ult onto 3 from the Amumu. Nico trying to respond with the same as Lucas, hunts down the Ziggs on the backline, but meanwhile, it's Bread rolling through and taking out multiple members. It's just Loot Killers alive with Untitled barreling down mid.
Yeah, Bread is very yummy, and Dota 2 is beater. The 2 big, beefy diving threats that no one on the side of SPS can check. They might be able to end the game. I don't know. These turrets are kind of tanky, but 10 seconds or 20 seconds on Hide on Bush and Sloyd, like they have a good shot for it.
A good tech by Easy Hister to walk away and not be in range of when turrets reinforce themselves based on people being nearby. But either way, tech or not, they cannot go for the end and will instead set up topside vision around this Baron and possibly start.
Yeah, they'll probably get it as well. Timers are coming out now, and they will speed run to the Baron, but it should probably be dead before Hide on Bush can even get a chance to spawn a plant. At least
that is fake Zyra, so should be a-okay there. Nice Baron secure. We'll see Cat disrupt some of the bases. Blue Killer's gonna do what he can most reliably do in this game situation. Trade 1 for 1, I suppose, as Evan is able to get him on the edge of the Inferno Bomb and make sure And this time the Akali won't get away with it.
Yeah, Luke Killer's just playing his heart out this game. But at this point, with what, 4-item Zac, 4-item Wukong, neither of them, or both of them having Merc Treads and more MR, it's Luke Killer's gonna have a long road ahead of him to try and kill either one of those, let alone both of them.
Yeah, especially when MF is your AD carry, not going to be able to shred through these tanks all too effectively. As onto the next tower they go. There's the curse hitting onto 3. Zac flying into the backline. Plus Stranglethorns tries to disrupt the fight as Bread now might get counter engages. Bullet time across onto 3. It's 1-for-1 so far, but they need to take out Bread. The Wukong slimping away, and it's a double kill for Soyblake. Bread on the run. He's gonna drop. The MF shows up for a triple. A beautiful angle on the Shuriken flip. That guy is doing great in trigonometry as Dota will be able to slingshot out to some safety. It will take a long time to kill him. Evan is here, and Evan is gonna find a lot of burst. He can't quite get Luke Killers. Throws in the ultimate and finds even more with a double kill, but now he's caught up by Mobuster. It is a 3rd kill. So Ziggs proving, hey, he was put down a lot in lane, but he just blew up 3.
Yeah, we're seeing exactly just how hard it is to kill this Zac. They got through the Wukong, but the Zac, he gets away with 2 MR items, 2.5 with the Jack Show, and a Merc Treads. This Akali does like negative damage to him. He's just like tickling him as he runs away.
Yeah, there's a bit of magic pen on the Zyra on the Akali. It's not doing enough.
Yeah, Dota 2 speed is level 18 now too, so fully maxed out on those naturally growing MR stats too. He's just walking by himself straight through the jungle looking for Hide on Bush.
Yeah, he's gonna say let's bounce because Hide on Bush doesn't have much place to go. We'll get down a good garden, at least in his Visage, but still dead all the same. Now Zac going forward finds the stretch back. No kills, but still a kill on the Zyra will definitely help with Siege. And Bread is just going to take this time to go in. The Nico does get the Pop Blossom down onto 2. Evan goes golden as Luca's not able to find his execution target this time, but the same will not be said of his AD carry as Bread takes her head off. And that will be Untitled with a 2-0 in Week 5 to stay undefeated at the top of the standing.
Not only undefeated in total games, but they haven't even dropped a single match yet. Like, every game has just been 2-0. Nothing has even touched them. Nothing has phased them. It's unbelievable the level of dominance they've shown so far this tournament.
Yeah, and that was a game that they definitely had to work for. Game 1, they're able to kind of play their game, slowly move up, and kind of explode the game from just kind of individual play. This time, you know, the game was held very even, super volatile, as I think each team was over a kill a minute. But it felt like, hey, maybe this Luke Akali is going to get going. Maybe the 2v2 advantages in the bottom are going to pan out. But then we see Dota 2 is beater coming up on the Zac, being unkillable. Evan slinging out the bombs, even in death, to get all the damage off. And it's a great overall effort as this team's looking very tough to stop.
Yeah, I will say, I will give huge props to Luke Killers and Kiddo Kit Kat for this game. Slamming the Akali and Nico on 1 and 2 and just showing out early to mid, constantly being everywhere and constantly finding picks and forcing fights and flipping the game on its head. They played their hearts out, and I respect that significantly. That was all she read though for Soy Kiddo Predator Slayers, as they will find their first loss. Are we doing a interview shift or how's it looking?
That's up to you. That's up to you.
The chat is saying that they have collectively elected Envy to do interview. So if you are down, we can drag him in here. Want to?
It's up to you. You had the pregame festivities. You can do the postgame festivities.
Okay. All right, let's get NB. I always forget that I can drag people now. Nice.
Superpower.
Hello. Welcome.
Oh, hello.
Congrats on the win and congrats on staying completely undefeated. What are your thoughts so far?
Thank you. Honestly, the first game was really easy and unwinnable because of my top laner did a really good job split pushing, and our 4v4 was just obviously way better. And the second game, I left the Akali up because I knew even if he gets ahead, he's just gonna throw his lead, and I don't know, I ended down 800 gold. So I mean, I kind of guessed right a little bit. But our team is really good if you're asking like more broadly. I really like the comms. Evan's a good coach for us. He's teaching us a lot, and I mean, I'm really happy to have my team, and we definitely, it wasn't really that close, so pretty happy about that.
Yeah, the pregame segment was closer than the actual games, it looks like. But yeah, can you speak more on the game 2 prep? You said you left Akali open, and did you see the
Yeah.
Nico, or were you planning on taking the Wukong too? How did the draft look that game?
Oh, we had no idea what we were going to be doing, and we didn't predict the Nico. But we did leave the Akali up because we kind of just knew we would pick champs that would be good into it. And the plan was to B1 Rise, and B1 Rise is honestly not too good into loot killers. I think in his champion in general, like he has a pretty good Talia, so we had to ban that instead of the Akali, and we still had to maintain our other bans. So the Akali was definitely predicted. But the Wukong was a planned flex. Yes, it was a planned flex.
Yeah, I do notice that a ton of teams have problems drafting against you guys because of the Wukong flex and the bunch of random champions that Bread plays. Can you talk more about having Bread as a top laner?
It's honestly really fun. I think surprisingly, like people, like obviously when you play mage bot lane, you'd assume the pool's restrictive, but I think somehow our most restrictive player is Bread, and not in a bad way. I'm just saying like for drafting, it's really interesting having like his champ pool is very like, it seems kind of diverse, but he also doesn't play like the normal top laners that you can just like pick. You know what I mean? So it's like but Bread is absolutely carrying. Like he's literally 1v9. He's best top laner this in the tournament. But yeah.
Clearly seems like it. Have you got anything to add on?
No, nothing from my end. I think it was a nice, fun game too, at the very least, with you guys throwing haymakers. So, I mean, as the rest of the season unfolds, that like you guys are locked for playoffs at this point. Is there anything you're looking to iron out or improve on, as it is a long season? So
I'm just trying. You're right. The only thing personally that I'm trying to iron out is me unfortunately losing a good matchup against Hoptech. I gotta run that back. I gotta get my. I mean, in another tournament, don't tell him I said this. In another tournament, I might have went 17-1 on Syndra against Hoptech, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean,
it was his jungler's fault for why he died early, but like no one cares, bro. You went like 1 in 10 anyway. Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm looking to iron out the rest of the season is I'm trying to beat Hoptech. That's all I'm trying to do. My coach, I love that guy though. No flame. He's probably the best mid that I think in the tournament right now.
Oh, okay. Also humble. I'm looking forward to that matchup too. I think the last time you guys played, that was a pretty banger game.
Oh yeah. He's fun to play against too.
Yeah, for sure. There's only 1 week left in regular split, right? I have no idea.
I could not tell you.
I have no idea how the seeding for next week works, but is there any team in particular you're looking at that you want to play against?
I mean, I kind of already said the Hoptech thing, but besides that, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. It's all the same. We're just going 2-0 anyway, so like. To me, it's just like I log on. Evan DeVank tells me who we're playing against. He like I maybe help him a little bit with draft prep, and then we just win. It's not really like it's like picking I don't know. It's just kind of irrelevant to me, you know.
Yeah, the
Just another day.
confidence, the
Just another day
confidence.
ending in Y. Well, thank you very much, Envy, for hopping on. Congrats on the win as you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you. Yeah,
Looking very strong thus far. Best of luck for the rest of the season and in the eventual playoffs.
yeah. GG's. Thank you guys for having me. Bye.
All right.
And that is gonna wrap us up for today. There will be more week 5 action over the weekend. Prone, any final thoughts?
Yeah, this team is just unbelievable to watch. I pray to God I don't get them next week. I don't know how the seating works again, but
I don't
yeah,
think you can.
it's just so far completely undefeated. Not even close today, even though the other team was also 5-0. So just in awe. But yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a great night.
Bye.